REL Pacific at McREL International is one of 10 regional educational laboratories often referred to as RELs, which are funded by the U.S. Department of Education's Institute of Education Sciences. Literacy, at its most basic definition, is the ability to read and write. Even though the definition of literacy has and can be expanded beyond these basic skills, ensuring students acquire and effectively use reading and writing skills remains a critical goal for schools. Study after study has reinforced the importance of children being able and proficient in reading at grade level. As early as 3rd grade, a child's reading level can influence future successes or challenges. But what does that mean for children in the Pacific region? And where do they stand when it comes to being ready to read?
Ensuring that students are reaching grade-level reading proficiency is a high-leverage concern among education stakeholders in the REL Pacific service region. Evidence suggests that students in the region may be at risk of falling behind in reading proficiency. In American Samoa, 38% of grade 3 students scored in the basic or above basic range in reading on the 2017 Smarter Balanced Assessment. In the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, the 2016 ACT Aspire reading results show that 18% of grade 3 students scored in the ready or exceeding reading proficiency levels. In the Republic of the Marshall Islands, 25% of students scored proficient or higher in English reading on the 2016 Marshall Islands Standardized Achievement Test.
There are several factors that research has shown to support students in making the transition from learning to read to reading to learn. They include socioeconomic status, oral fluency, phonemic awareness, vocabulary knowledge, social skills, home learning environments, school readiness, attendance rates, language of schooling or assessment, and teacher qualifications.
Our partners in the Pacific are interested in the specific challenges and enabling factors that prepare their students for achieving 3rd grade reading proficiency. We're learning more about literacy acquisition in the different countries in the Pacific region. For example, attendance plays a major role in any student's academic achievement regardless of location. But research on Indigenous and Pacific students show that poor attendance can negatively influence their ability to develop essential reading skills like phonological awareness, especially if the school language is not the same as the student's home language. When the language of instruction is different than the home language of both students and teachers, as is common for many of the education systems REL supports, teachers may need additional support in teaching early literacy skills, which can also impact student success. Additionally, there are a variety of studies from many different contexts that are pointing to the importance of preschool attendance on early reading outcomes. Preschool, whether provided through federal programs or through private programs, helps prepare students with the essential skills they need to learn how to read and write. Pacific cultures also have rich oral traditions that help influence how students learn to read. Research from Koshrai shows, for example, that students tend to enter formal schooling with strong listening skills. Children from cultures with strong oral traditions engage in valuable family literacy activities, such as repetitions and storytelling, that can assist them in developing literacy skills, not only in their first language, but for additional languages they may learn in school. Helping students with predominantly oral traditions develop stronger reading and writing skills means being attentive to what students and their parents have to say about reading and writing and how these skills are learned, and incorporating them into daily school practices.
One of the key opportunities in the Pacific region is integrating the unique Pacific cultures, languages, and Indigenous knowledge into foundational models of education, grounding the work in what makes each population that is served so special, so they see themselves reflected in the solutions.
Students can and do benefit from learning that focuses on culturally specific techniques, meanings, and work in school. Research from New Zealand shows that supporting Pacifica students in learning literacy skills involves incorporating their language identities and cultural knowledge in both teaching and learning practices. This is especially important if the curriculum or the school culture do not match the student's culture. Students may prefer to read stories about their own cultures rather than about ones they cannot necessarily connect to. REL Pacific aims to support our partners in understanding the distinct challenges in early literacy acquisition in their jurisdictions. It is our collective goal that decision makers will have the information they need as they act in the best interest of the children they serve.
REL Pacific supports its early literacy partnerships based on the needs of each jurisdiction. In our partnership with the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, we are working with education leaders to study which factors are most significant in predicting third-grade reading proficiency and developing an efficient data tracking system to identify students who are on and off track in reading. While we bring in relevant research from other contexts in our technical assistance and dissemination work, we always center our discussions about how the research can be best utilized for our partners. Check out our website to learn more about the work of REL Pacific at McREL International.